Hey, how's it going? I'm over here at Mission Trails Regional Park. It's a pretty quiet Friday afternoon. We got some rain recently, so gonna just see what's popping up. Hopefully we're gonna see some cool flowers. Growing right alongside the road here is one of my favorite early spring annuals. Cleveland's shooting star, Primula clevelandii, subspecies clevelandii. It used to be in the genus Dodecatheon, but the two have since been merged. When the plant's in bud, the petals are actually encased around the anthers, and then when it reaches flower, the petals fold back, and then you get this really unique flower shape. San Diego Ambrosia. This is Ambrosia pumila. It's a really rare plant in the aster family. Right now I'm looking at a really cool plant. This is the Lictrum Fendleri, Fendler's Meadow-rew. This viney plant right here is a native we have. It's commonly called wild cucumber. This is Mara macrocarpa. The species is monoecious, meaning that the male and female flowers are on the same plant. You could actually see the female flower right here. It's a bit larger than the male flowers. You could also see the ovary right there below the petals. Once the plant gets fertilized, that ovary is going to develop into a big spiky fruit. Everyone should know this plant. This is poison oak. Got to be really careful when hiking to not get touched by this thing. It's got really irritating oils all over the leaves, stems, berries, flowers. Literally every part of this plant is poisonous. The way that you can identify it is it's got trifoliate leaves, and the topmost leaf has a petiole, meaning that it has a stem. The other two are sessile and are directly attached to the stem. I'm in a riparian channel right now, meaning that water runs through this area. And this tall shrub right here is Baccharis salicifolia. Pretty much only grows in riparian areas. It's kind of an associate to this habitat type, along with willows and cottonwoods. Unlike Mara macrocarpa, the wild cucumber, plants of this species are dioecious, meaning that there are separate female and male plants. So right now I'm looking at a female plant, but right off to my right is a male plant. So they grow pretty close together. It's not like they're separated by a long distance or anything. So although not in flower at the moment, this is one of the coolest plants we have. This is sacred Datura, Datura reidii. It does have some fruits up there, those spiky balls. This thing's bat pollinated, so it's got these massive white flowers that attract bats. There's also always these tiny gray weevils that I find on this plant. Let me see if I could see any. Selaginella cinerescens, commonly called spikemoss. Despite the name, it's not actually a moss, which are non-vascular plants. Selaginella is within the Selaginellacea family, which are lycophytes. Lycophytes were some of our earliest vascular plants. They used to be massive, but over time, they've just reduced in size. A lot of our lycophytes are really small. So this is actually a vascular plant. It does have vascular tissue, meaning it can conduct water throughout its system. Doesn't need to grow right by a stream or in a wet area, just like moss. Lycophytes are unique in the fact that they have lycophils, which are these tiny leaves that just have a single vein. Probably can't see from here, but there's some Muilla in there. Muilla meridima. I think it's related to onion, which is in the genus Allium. And so Muilla is literally just the word allium flipped around. Right here we got some white sage, Salvia apiana. This is a pretty culturally significant plant for indigenous people, used in a lot of practices. Unfortunately, these plants are poached pretty often for smudging. Right next to it is Rhamnus crocea. It's in the Rhamnaceae. No flowers at the moment, but when it does flower, there are these pretty inconspicuous little green flowers. Rhamnus crocea is actually a host plant for a really rare butterfly, the Hermes copper. I think this is a larval food source for the species that lays its eggs on it. This is a really cool fern right here called Newberry's lip fern. It's super fuzzy. It's also one of my favorite plants. Ooh, off to the left here too is another fern, Pelea andromedifolia. I think it's in the Pteridaceae family. It's called coffee fern. I'm sure many of you are familiar with sycamore trees. This is the western sycamore, Platanus racemosa. It's got its own family, Platanaceae. Right here's a member of the pistachio family. This is Melasma laurina. It's called laurel sumac. It's a monotypic genus, so this is the only plant in the genus Melasma. Growing all along these rocks is another Selaginella species we have in San Diego. This is Selaginella bigelovii. Grows much more erect than Cinerescens, which pretty much just grows along the ground. I'm sure some of you recognize this plant. This is black sage, Salvia mellifera. I know a lot of people use it in cooking. It's a very smelly plant in the mint family. It actually hybridizes with Salvia apiana, the white sage, and the hybrids are pretty distinct since these two species look pretty different. All right, there's Prunus ilicifolia, subspecies ilicifolia. It's a native cherry. I think it's called a hollyleaf cherry. Gets its name because the leaves look like that of a holly plant. Dang, there's like a forest of Polypodium californicum up here. Mixed in with some oxalis too. Looks like one of our native oxalis, either californica or pilosa. Got some Pentagramma glandulovicida, San Diego silverback fern. Some more Thalictrum. That little leaf right there belongs to a delphinium. Very far out from flowering. Bunch of plants. Right in front of me is lemonade berry, Rus integrifolia, another pistachio family member. It's a very iconic species in coastal sage scrub. You actually make a lemonade type drink with the berries, I think, if you just put it in some water. Maybe add some sugar too. Growing right out of the rocks here is a pretty uncommon plant in San Diego and Southern California in general. This is Micranthes california, the California saxifrage. It's in the Saxifrageaceae. I thought it might be in flower because it usually flowers in February and March, and we're nearing the end of March right now, but it has been an incredibly dry year, so I'm not surprised to see that it's kind of just forming an inflorescence right now. Right next to it is Jepsonia perei. This is a perennial herb that remains underground as a form for most of the year. And then when it gets some rain, it just sprouts a single leaf and then it waits till fall time to flower. It produces these really small white flowers that are borne atop this really skinny dark stalk. And not many people see it in flowers since it flowers when most things are dried out. This is Ceanothus tomentosus subspecies olivaceus about to bloom. You see it flower budding right there. It has these really nice bluish purple flowers. The common name for this is woolly leaf ceanothus. I found a plant of deerweed in flower. This is Acmispon glaber subspecies breviolatus. Acmispon glaber has two subspecies. The way that you separate them is by the length of the petals. So the P family Fabaceae is known for this flower structure. It has a banner petal, which is the back one, It has 2 wing petals, and then it has 2 petals that fuse to form the keel, which is that like canoe-like structure. So if the wing petals are shorter than the keel, then it's subspecies breviolatus, and if the wing petals are equal to or longer than the keel, then it's subspecies glaber. So it's actually pretty easy to separate. Calistegia macrostegia, coast morning glory. Not in flower at the moment, but when it does, it's got white flowers that are kind of cup-shaped or bowl-shaped. And I sometimes see bees taking a rest in them. It's really cute. These small green plants at my fingertips here are a native succulent. This is Crassula conata. All of the native crassulas we have in San Diego are really tiny, just like this. Jade plant, a really common ornamental plant, is actually in the genus Crassula. They look pretty different though. I just quickly drove to the east side of the reserve. On this side of the reserve is where the chocolate lilies are, Fritillaria biflora. So we're gonna see if those are in flower. All these tiny white flowers here belong to Plagiobothorus colonus. It's in the popcorn flower family, Boraginaceae. Check this out. This folded leaf here actually belongs to a rare fern. It's really tiny. It's about the size of my fingertip. But when this thing matures, it actually forms this really cool sporophyte body, which will later on release the spores when it dries up and dehisces. Yay, the chocolate lily's in flower. I love this plant so much. It's the only plant that I've ever seen that has brown flowers. In this case, can't really differentiate between the petals and sepals, so you call them tepals. And they're really shiny. It's got this really nice bell shape. The leaves are pretty cute too.